What made me curious was it was looked like water and it wasn't frozen.
And
So
when most people hear the word mafia, they think New York, families, bosses, underbosses, a man sitting at the top calling all the shots. That wasn't the Dixie Mafia. The Dixie Mafia wasn't built like Costa Nostra. It was a loosely network of independent operators scattered across the South. Some bootleg, some robbed, some gambled, some stole, some moved stolen property. Sometimes they worked together, sometimes they didn't. Names like Billy Sunday Burke, A.C. Cliff Park, A.D. Allen. Every one of them carried influence. But influence isn't the same thing as control. Nobody ran the Dixie Mafia. Then there was Ruth Chancey. She didn't look like someone people would fear. She looks like someone's grandmother, quiet, soft spoken, the kind of woman who'd hand a child a piece of candy before they walk back out the door. Yet decades later, her name still carries weight. Not because of rumors, because of paperwork.
I mean, Miss Ruth was a sweetheart. That woman had the biggest heart, but you did not want to make her mad. I mean, people respected her.
What do you mean you didn't want to make her mad?
Well, I mean, she had a lot of, I guess, what you would call pull, and people respected her because she was a businesswoman, and that she took care of things, and if you like disrespected her in any way, or she felt like that you were not trying to, I guess, treat her right, she just wouldn't have anything to do with you. People looked up to her, and then people that she worked, I guess not worked with, but the people that were associated with her had her back. Put it to you that way.
Mm-hmm.
They had her back.
That interview stopped me because that's exactly how history works. Children don't always understand the adults around them. To one little girl, she wasn't Ruth Chancey. She was simply Miss Ruth. Now let's go back to 1969. Georgia was cracking down on alleged bootlegging operations and businesses prosecutors described as public nuisances. While all of that was happening, while the state was taking on names like A.C. Cliff Park, another legal fight quietly made its way through the Georgia Supreme Court. The name on that case? Ruth Chancey. Now here's what made me stop. Ruth Chancey wasn't represented by just anybody. She was represented by Richard B. Russell III, former Superior Court judge, one of the most respected attorneys in Georgia, a lawyer whose reputation reached far beyond Walton County. That made me ask, who exactly was Ruth Chancey? Because ordinary cases don't usually attract extraordinary lawyers. The Georgia Supreme Court ultimately overturned the state's attempt to padlock the business that was ran by Fred Cooper.
You don't just know Fred Cooper. He was backwoods,
Yeah, yeah,
backwoods. Well, I just happened to see that stuff in the refrigerator when I went, because I was a little grease monkey. I was an only child. And so I would always hang around, find stuff to do. And I just happened to open that freezer and I see like 9 quarts, what I'm thinking is water. So I say, "Hey, Dad, why do you got all this water in the freezer? It's not freezing." Because,
hmm
I know he was like, that's my special stuff. Don't you ever touch that. And I was like, okay. And I shut it and didn't ever touch it.
Yeah.
But
But because the state failed to satisfy the venue requirements that existed under Georgia law at that time, more than 50 years later, Georgia's venues laws have evolved. And looking back on that opinion doesn't just tell us about Ruth Chancey, it tells us how different Georgia legal systems worked in 1969.
I was so young, I wasn't really in the center. Like with Miss Ruth, it was more of a, well, we got to go see Miss Ruth. I didn't know he was going to pick up a jug or a quart. I thought we were just going to see Miss Ruth. She'd give me candy, we'd go home, and that was it. That's where, because I wasn't told, hey, we got to go get some liquor. It didn't work like that.
Yeah. The paperwork introduces us to Ruth Chancey. The memories introduce us to Miss Ruth. Those are two different people. Or maybe they're the very same person.
Chancey residence?
Yes, ma'am. I'm looking to rent.
Yes, we do. How soon can you move?
By the week's end. Is it available?
Yes, ma'am. It's available.